students go off to be better readers and writers and more literate, you know, you just assume that's true. And then you start thinking about all the different parents, and I have 3 kids, and some of them, and 3 grandchildren, and some of them read more to their kids, some read less to their kids, so you wonder if there's this whole correlation, and it would be really interesting to know is if, you know, some parents aren't that good at reading to their kids, but if they introduced audiobooks in, they came in through the library and, you know, hey, everyone's into technology and stuff, and they had their kids listen to an audiobook when they went to bed, or in the car when they were driving wherever, would there be that same correlation as a gateway? And that would be interesting if somehow those connections were made and it becomes like, hey, you know, audiobooks are really important in these early years because we know there's a correlation and that, so.
I did find some of the participants in my study actually were saying that they listened to the audio, like actually it was an example of Harry Potter, they're like, yeah, it looks a little too big and okay, I'll listen to the audio. So good, I listened to the whole audio, now I want to read the text. So it doesn't negate like, oh, I've got the story, they just want to read the text as well and experience the story again in a slightly different way. And they actually say that they can hear the narrator's voice, so they've got all the pronunciation right. They can, like, it sounds like they're like hearing the audiobook as they're reading. And actually there was, yeah, a whole lot, what you were saying about like multitasking too. I didn't actually put all my findings there, but it's what we all, how many of us like, do the ironing with the audiobooks, or like, we go for a run with an audiobook, or
driving.
Yes, driving, like. Okay, can you confess to me that you've driven out a couple of times? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I was in the car, I'm like, I can't go upstairs just yet, and you didn't hear what's gonna happen.
That's a good audio book. So students are experiencing the same thing once
I
they
also
get
think
addicted.
Michelle Obama's my best friend because she read me.
And it was just perfect.
Sorry to
Katie was saying that too about like the authors reading their own books, but I have had bad experience, some bad experiences with them too. So not all authors agree with this.
I liked what you said about like the user experience, like how can we make it a better experience? And sometimes I wish we had like that kids could go back and forth between like reading a digital book and then flipping to the audio. You know, if they are walking to school, they're listening, or they're on the bus, and then they want to flip to actually reading the pages of the book. So I think that there's room for improvement.
So the book would know where you
It would pick up exactly where you left off.
Somebody can
They do
experience
have
that.
that in Audible called Whisper Sync.
They have Whisper Sync, yeah.
And it actually does work, but it works on your Kindle, so it's.
And this is, I wish that we had, I don't know,
Yeah.
a lot of my kids are using phones, you know.
Yeah.
The grade 6 teacher at my school, she's a big champion of audiobooks, and they're reading Wonder right now. So they'll read it out, they're reading it as a class, and she'll read it out loud. Sometimes they read a chapter, and then sometimes they'll listen to a chapter. So that's how they, she's very deliberate in, okay, we're gonna listen to this chapter as a class.
And is she playing that from her personal?
Yeah.
And that's right.
Yeah.
Share that with everybody.
You know, like there's so
Yeah,
much
it's
more that could be done.
On a
with that.
speaker,
Yeah, I remember just, I flash back to when I was in elementary school and the teacher reading a chapter to us and then going home and saying, okay, now finish reading yourself. So it was like, listen to it, you got excited about the story, and I kind of struggled a little with reading, but I had to know what was going to happen next, so it kind of took me with myself.
There might be a little bit of hesitancy in that, like it could annoy some students. I mean, it's okay to be out of our comfort zone, but I was saying to Brian about the different narrators for, welcome, Kat. Sorry. No, that's okay, that's all good. Very relaxed. Many students have come to me and said like they hate it if a series is read by a different narrator. I actually got Brian's liaison person to say, I'm like, I can't have this series, I'm not buying the series unless it's got the same narrator, and that we like the narrator, and obviously that's a preference, and the student has to try it and see if they think that this sounds like something I could listen to. But yeah, so you were,
Yes. I was going to say, like, in his research, Dan talks about like the 3 edges of like the reading triangle, like motivation, comprehension, and vocab. And like, for some of my kids, they're not motivated. The levels of vocab are way too low to access literature that's kind of going to be interesting to them. And they don't really understand what's going on because they don't have those things. And so for me, as I'm talking with my English teacher hat on, having audiobook options that they can have and then they follow as well in the book and sort of dip in and out, it's changed the game for me completely. It really has, and especially I've got 3 very severely dyslexic students in that class, and their parents have just said they're coming home and want to know what's happening next in the story, and they've had years of struggle. So it's really, really powerful.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing about, there's this idea of reading while listening, like RWL, and that it makes us all feel good if you've got the, back in the day when you had the CD and the 50 book, and I'm sure that the child is actually scanning every word as it's being spoken, but no, they're not, and you can't, like, unless we have the technology to be able to see where they're looking on the page, there is absolutely no guarantee that they're actually reading that word when they're hearing that word. So there is like being sensitive on the reading while listening research is a bit dodgy.
I was going to say, does it matter? Like,
exactly. So and most of the participants that I had, like, they wanted to just let me listen. I just want to listen to the whole book. I might go back and read it, but not. And then some of them will, like, they know where they're up to on a chapter that they've just been listening to, and so they'll bring out the book, and if they have to do some required reading or something, they have to see them first.
Well, back in Georgia, I used the Capstone library, and we had a really, we had quite a diverse population, but a lot of our students were Spanish speaking and had no English whatsoever as 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And so you can't hand those children a biscuit book or a, because it's just not appropriate. But Capstone had some that were like a pre-primer level reading, but they were dark and they were creepy, and so they had the book, but what they loved to do was get on the computer because it would flip the page, so they, were learning the right way. So some of our students that were coming from countries that read right to left instead of left to right, and the words would light up. So it would change color as it read, and it read rather slowly, and there were things going on in the background. There was music. And we really did see a difference in how quickly they were able to grasp language by having the picture, the sound, the word, everything all right there together as a package.
Yeah, and there is some quite good research about that, but then I just have an argument that that's not actually an audiobook because it's so much more, it's an augmented thing. But like, I just see that it's such a useful thing for EML. And like, maybe my whole sort of perspective of audiobooks is also, like, I don't want them to be seen as, we only give them to the EAL students or the people that can't read. I just want to mainstream them, and this is where our technology has finally come, like, caught up with it, that we don't have to have the play away and, like, you're listening to an audiobook. Everybody's got a phone, they have an app, and like, my son only listens to audiobooks, and his friends like said, like, what are you listening to? And yeah, he doesn't listen to music, which is just really odd to them, but they would never know. Like, he goes for a run listening to audiobooks. It's not, there's not a stigma against it. Just not.
Can you tell us a little bit?
Just a quick narrative, I guess. When I was 12, I was probably about a year into learning the language. I migrated from Korea to Australia. Read the first English book, and it was 7 Little Dragons on a cassette tape. And I remember sitting out in the street, on the gutter, with my headphones and the book and everything, and just, I was too busy trying to decode by myself, and it wasn't really making a lot of sense. And I do remember going, oh, so this is how you say it. And so I remember practicing that on a cassette tape. So I just wanted to share that. So
Yes. It's such a special memory.
Just let you know more about your research. Like, how many people did you look at? What age group were they?
Yep. So it was only 12 participants, so it was very only qualitative, and I collected data over 2 years, so that was sort of like over a longer period of time than most studies. And then they had no identified learning difficulties, and fluent readers and writers, multilingual, multicultural, but it was all in English. And so it was just asking them what effect does listening to audiobooks over a long period of time. Okay, it wasn't just like, oh, listen to an audiobook. I want you to be, you sort of got addicted to audiobooks. My supervisors didn't like that word. So. But that's how they described it. That they're addicted to it. They like, and they're sort of like, I was a drug dealer, like, please give me the next one, you know, like I need it. So to have that level of excitement for pre-adolescents, like I have a lovely memory of coming into a classroom, like it was like an art classroom or something like that, and one of my participants just said, I love audiobooks, and like just in front of his whole class, and he was the cool kid, and yeah, just realizing that. So I was introducing them in the school, like we didn't have this great. It's been hard up until now. It's been really hard to get them into libraries. So we sort of always rely on the parents buying them, or for my research, I actually had the iPods synced with my account to try and get enough of them because they need. And I'm talking about downloadable audiobooks that have professional narrators. So yeah, we don't want that. Somebody was asking about Tales to Go, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to disparage them, but that's just not like the literature that we're looking for. Students are looking for. They want